Let's learn about water filtration. Pollutants are constantly entering our water supply, making our water less safe. They come from both humans and nature. These pollutants may include pesticides, litter, oil, sewage, and factory chemicals. There are various methods for filtering pollutants out of water. While some water can be treated with just a filter, other polluted water has to be chemically treated. Many of the chemicals that end up in our water can be very challenging to remove. Sometimes these pollutants are impossible to remove and the water supply becomes no longer usable. The best way to keep our water clean is to protect it. Disposing of pollutants properly will help keep them from entering our water supply. Do your part in protecting our water, avoid littering, properly dispose of chemicals, and encourage others to do the same. Thank you for watching. Let's create our own water filters to look deeper into the process.
Hey everyone!
My name's Millie.
And I'm Ellen, and we're with Shelby County.
So now that we've reviewed some background information, we are going to create our own filtration process so we can remove pollutants from water.
So before we begin, we want everyone to get into groups of 4.
Each group is going to need 4 small Dixie cups, 3 plastic cups, 1 plastic cup full of water, a tray, a mesh screen, a cheesecloth, and a coffee filter. And you will also need your activity sheet and a pencil to fill it out.
So the first thing we're going to do is look at a clean cup of water, and with your classmates we want you to collaborate and just describe what the water looks like, feels like, smells like, and you can jot those observations down on your activity sheet.
Now we are going to pollute our clean cup of water. Take the confetti first, and then have one group member pour the confetti into the cup of water. These are going to represent pollutants such as grass, leaves, or litter.
Next, you're going to have another group member pour in your cup of soil, and this soil is going to represent any dirt, anything that can run into water.
Now we're going to take our cup of vinegar and we're going to add that into the water. And this can represent chemicals such as fertilizers, pesticides, paint, or other chemicals like that that can run off into water.
And finally, we are going to add a cup of oil to the water, and this is going to represent motor oil coming from cars.
Now that your water is polluted, we're going to examine it one more time. So with your group of 4, you're going to examine the look, the smell, and the feel of the water now that it is no longer pure. And record those notes on your activity sheet.
So the next thing we're going to do is to attempt to purify the water. Now, before we do that, with your group, take a look at each of the different filters and discuss which pollutant each filter will remove and why. And don't forget to fill that out on your activity sheet.
Now with your group, take a look at the pollutants that were taken out of the water and also take a look at the pollutants that still remain in the water. Write this down on your activity sheet.
Next, we are going to try the cheesecloth, and let's take a look at which pollutants that this filter removes and which ones still remain. And we want you to write down again your responses on the activity sheet and discuss why this filter removed the pollutants that the mesh screen was not able to remove.
Okay, now let's take the smallest filter, which is a coffee filter, and we're going to strain the water through this one more time. And then we're going to examine it again, look at the pollutants that were removed, the pollutants that weren't able to be removed, and we're going to write it down on our activity sheet.
If you examine closely enough, you will realize that one of the pollutants you were not able to remove, and with your classmates, which one was that? Correct, it's going to be the vinegar. And how could you tell? Yes, it still smells like vinegar. Would you want to drink this water? Definitely not.
Now discuss with the class possible ways that you think this pollutant, vinegar, could be removed. Typically, water that has been polluted by chemicals has to be cleaned at water treatment plants, which disinfect the water using chemicals such as chlorine.
As we've seen throughout this experiment today, polluted water is very challenging to clean, especially if it contains chemical pollutants. We should try to keep our water as clean as possible to make the cleaning process easier.
Thank you guys so much for trying this experiment with us. We hope you guys learned a little bit more about the filtration process and why it is important to keep our water clean.
Thanks for watching!
Bye!